Hey guys, it's Matt here with Green's Guns and Range. Wanted to bring to you our first in a multi-part series called 1,000 Yards on a Budget. We're going to kind of chronicle the building of the rifle you see here. We really quickly wanted to tell you kind of about the rifle we've chosen, why we chose it, some of the features that lend this gun, that makes this gun pretty good for the long-range game. And then, of course, as the series progresses, you'll see us do a whole bunch of really goofy stuff to it, trying to make it a little bit more accurate if we have any accuracy issues out of it. But the rifle you see here is a Remington Model 700, what they call the AAC-SD. We like that rifle because we've had pretty good luck in the past with the way they shoot. They've all been pretty accurate. But there are a couple of feature sets that we think will help us get to that 1,000 yards. One, it is chambered in .308 Winchester, which is one of those calibers we all have pretty good luck with, a lot of experience with. It's a really good round. We like it a lot. The rifle is has a 20-inch bull barrel that is threaded for muzzle accessories. So we'll be putting a suppressor or muzzle brake or something on the end there, whatever we can find that gives us the best accuracy. But in that 20-inch barrel, it's a little bit heavier profile. It is a bull barrel, but it's also got a 1 in 10 barrel twist, which means we can stabilize the heavier, longer bullets, which of course have a much higher ballistic coefficient. So they should be less affected by wind, rain, those kind of things that are often an issue for long-range shooters. It comes in this ghillie green Hogue overmold plastic stock. If there's one weakness of the system, it's the stock. Even right now, with it set up on our Harris bipod that we have here, you cannot put a dollar bill through it. So we're going to need to look at either modifying the stock or betting the action to get it a little bit further up, because right now that barrel is touching the stock, which of course is going to affect harmonics, which is going to affect the accuracy of the weapon system. Beyond that, it's got a really nice recoil pad, really soft shooting guns. We've done a very few things to it thus far. We've got the Timney 510 trigger in here, which is a fantastic trigger. This one, out of the box, it's averaging 3 pounds, 6 ounces, which is great. I don't like a real light trigger in my guns. This is one of those guns that if I need to adjust it down, I can, but I'm pretty used to a 3-pound trigger, so this should do pretty well for me. I do have, like I said earlier, the Harris bipod. This is the swivel. We like those. Harris makes a great bipod. And then we have installed a Weaver 20 MOA base on this. A lot of times with these Weaver bases, they require a little bit of machining and fitting to get them to sit flat on the receiver, which is why a lot of guys go with things like LaRue Tacticals. However, this one bolted up nicely. There's no gapping or anything like that. It fits flush on all sides, so we're pretty happy with that. And then the scope that's on here is not the one we're going to keep with or keep on here. It's a Nikon Pro Staff 4-12. It just came off another gun that I had, a 270, a hunting gun. So the mounts are a little bit high. The scope is not a long-range scope by any means. We just haven't yet quite decided what kind of scope we're going to put on there. So in one of our later videos, you'll see the scope that we chose, and you'll see how we set it up. But we do know that it's going to be a first focal plane scope. Much beyond that, we're not really sure of brand or anything like that. We do know that this gun is going to eventually sit in an MDT LSS chassis. We like those because they are inherently more accurate than these stocks, but they also convert for a detachable box magazine, which we are a big fan of. And they kind of have a lot of the ergonomics from the AR-15. They take an AR-15 collapsible buttstock and pistol grip and all of that. So we're excited to see how that works out for us. I've not personally ever had my hands on one, so it'll be interesting to see how that thing actually shoots. But we have all of that coming on its way, and then we're going to try and get this thing out and shoot it, test it as it sits. Weather today is just not quite holding out for us. It's cold and wet out there. Being from Southern California, I just don't do cold and wet very often. But East Texas sometimes throws that little surprise on me. But other than that, we're really excited about it. It'll be probably a year-long project to get this thing there. And at the end of it, kind of the culmination is, it is going to go with me to a 1,000-yard sniper rifle school. And we'll see what it does. Hopefully it shoots well for us. We've got no reason to believe it won't. But to give you guys kind of our budget, even after the chassis, which isn't cheap, even after a good set of glass, which is probably going to run in the $900 range, we hope to keep the budget on this rifle at under $2,000. So you can pick up these rifles for like $700, $7.50 maybe. The Weaver bases aren't terribly expensive. The Harris bipods are going to run right over $100. The Timneys are $140, $150. So we're not throwing on a whole ton of money yet. As the rifle is sitting here, it's not $6,000 like some of them we have come through here. But we're going to try and build this up. And then, of course, if you have the desire to build something like it, you can hit us up. We can build it for you. All of our contact information is in the comment section below. So if you've got any of that, you need to have any other questions, you can hit us up here, call us, Facebook. Again, all that information is down below. And of course, don't hesitate to ask any questions and hit us up there. Lastly, of course, do you know that we'll be trying to do a video on this gun as often as we can. So hopefully next week, if the weather will improve a little bit, I'll get out there and shoot it some, see what it shoots, and then after that we'll be doing the chassis, and if we need to do any of the bedding and truing and blueprinting and any of that, we'll do it then. But that of course will affect the budget pretty drastically. But check us out, keep an eye on it, and then of course ask any questions you might have. Thank you for watching, and of course God bless.